first and foremost, the crowd was unbelievable. That's the best I've seen. And, you know, it was really awesome to come back home. It's been 3 weeks since we've had an opportunity to be back in NIP and to be at night and to have the student section, the crowd, and everything as electric as it was. That was awesome. And for us, the first time really kind of having playing a complete game. I'm not saying perfect by any means, but a complete game. I'm talking about 4 quarters. I'm talking about complementary football, feeding off of each other. You know, it was still a dogfight at halftime. I thought the momentum was back and forth. They made a long field goal, and you know, us to come out the second half and get the football and Jerome Ford to break off a 75-yard run. I think that was really kind of that pressure that we kept talking about, that we don't have to apply at some point in time to get a team to crack. And you know, a big run like that is coming out of halftime, I think, was kind of the difference maker. I know the turnovers and things like that were huge, but that run just, I think, energized not just our team, the crowd, and everything.
What is it about Jerome and those early second half runs? You guys
Maybe
do them at halftime.
Maybe it's we don't get the ball enough at the first half, but you know, I think there's a part of our O-line and wearing on people. And I don't think it's, you know, never going to be easy, and especially sometimes in the first half. But you know, that constant pressure of, you know, running, and you know, Desmond Ritter, the ability to throw the football as well as he can and move the ball around is, you know, really can be wearing on a defense, and I think it's wearing on a front. You know, they were a 3-down guy team that rushed 3 in a lot of situations, and I think, you know, I think it might be showed a little bit in the second half in our ability to run the football.
You guys dominated the first half, even if it was, you know, just 14 points. Did you sense the dam was going to burst in the second half?
Yeah, but you know, you know, as a coach, you're sitting there thinking about the opportunities that you missed, unfortunately, and the momentum of the game. And you know, this team was down 17 points last week against Memphis, and they came storming back and won the football game. And you know, kept reminding those guys it was 17-0, even 17-3, or that this team has been in this position. We saw it last week, and we really need to come out of the second half. We really need to get on and you know, kind of take the air out of the sails. You know, because we had moved the ball, we had control. I would, you know, pretty much the first half, but not really on the scoreboard. And we just got to capitalize on a few more of those situations.
Temple came in with one of the more experienced offensive linemen in the country. That you were able to put some pressure on their quarterback and kind of control the last.
No, they did. I mean, I thought that they had one of the, you know, from what we've seen, a really good offensive line. And you know, I think that early on, I don't know that we got the pressure that we wanted, but I think that's a part of that wear and tear, and the ability for us to play 7, 8 guys up front, I think, is to our advantage. I think that showed a bit more in the second half. That, you know, we're talking about us offensively being able to run the football, and it starts in the second half. I think that's a wear and tear, and I think defensively that front, those guys up front, the wear and tear that they put on an offensive line, I think showed more in the second half.
Luke, it seemed like Wilson Huber's closeout of that sack, I think it was in the second quarter or first half, whenever it was, kind of typified the way your defense played. It was all over the field.
They were. I mean, I think they were only 3 of 13 on third down. I think that there was constant pressure. I know in the first half, you know, a few times he got free on some, you know, on third down situations where he scrambled a little bit. But I think in those situations, you know, the type of defense that we play and the aggressive nature that we play with, I think those guys, you know, it takes a toll on a quarterback too, knowing even though you're running for 6, 7, 8 yards, that there's 11 of them that are hunting you down too. So. I thought they played really well. They played really aggressive tonight on defense.
Chuck got in the end zone. How good was that to see, considering what he's been through back-to-back season with knee injuries? How good was that?
I knew it was just a matter of time. I mean, you've seen him each and every week. You know, all through camp, we didn't quite see Chuck, and you know, he was still kind of getting over and getting used to the, you know, coming off of the ACL again. And you know, as we started the first game, late in that first game, you saw all of a sudden he kind of turned the corner a little bit. And I think he's going to be a guy that, as this year continues to go, the more and more confidence he's going to have. He's really a bit of a change of pace guy between him and Jerome. But I'd say he's gaining lots and lots of confidence in himself, and we're getting a lot more in him as well.
Important to get Josh Wiley going a little bit there.
Yeah. You know, we've had some you know, some opportunities, and I think him and, you know, Lenny have been obviously rotating a lot, and you know, just the ball hasn't quite found him in a lot of those situations. But tonight he did. I think we got him back in the mix. I think that you know, it's still early, and I think after 5 weeks, you know, he might not be where he wants to be, you know, as far as individually, statistically. But he's going to have an incredible second half of the season, and we're going to continue to be able to, you know, use both those guys in a lot of ways.
the
Is
ball.
he okay, by the way? After you took a
Yeah,
big
yeah,
hit.
I think he just landed on his tailbone there a little bit, and he's perfectly fine.
The ball is finding Alec the past 2 weeks. Is there something in the game plan or with him personally that's allowed him to?
I think the connection starts to really kind of build, and the confidence level, not just in what they call, but in, him and Dez together, and there is a connection, and I think that in a lot of those situations, there's a few of those ones that might have been a different coverage, and all of a sudden Dez has to pull up, and he just trusts that Alec's not going to give up or stop on a play, and he's going to continue to find the hole. And those guys have got a pretty good rapport right now and a pretty unique connection.
How much you take from those second team guys bowing up at the end zone there and getting the stop?
Well, they were getting harassed on the side if they didn't. So it's tough in that situation. This is a team offensively that does a lot of misdirection and things like that, and you stick some of those younger guys in the game and late in the game, it's really difficult. And I think it cost them a little bit there the first few snaps, but they bowed up and they kept our streak, I think, the red zone pretty good for us.
What can you say about the 2 punt drops that they had? How big was that for you guys? Because you all turned both in this week.
It's tough. I mean, that's where on the road, I know that he's probably in the other locker room saying right now, there's no way we can give a team like this the ball back like that in those situations. We didn't get an opportunity to put a hand on a punt that we pride ourselves on, and maybe not even make as many big plays in the special teams other than those. And sometimes special teams about being opportunistic, and where things we couldn't do. I think the only few times we did punt that we at least applied enough pressure that it was if that ball bobbles, we took advantage of it, let's just say. But it is tough. It's tough to be on the road. It's tough to be in those situations and ask your defense to go up there, and especially with an offense like ours.
What are you saying to Cole Smith this season in the locker room after missing so many field goals, especially the last 2 games?
It's just kind of a rhythm. I mean, I think you saw last year at the beginning of the year, Dez wasn't really in a rhythm. I think we had, I know we threw 3 picks in the first half of the South Florida game, and he was a guy that believed in what he was doing, kept working at it, and things kind of turned around. It's still only game 5. And Cole's the same way. He made some really big kicks for us. He kicked the ball really well for us last year, and he kicked the ball really well today, other than one. And sometimes you get on those longer ones, and your confidence is still a little bit shaken, but again, we got the utmost confidence in him, that we'll get back to work at it.
Are you thinking about style points at all? I know we talked about this at the end of last year.
I have not a whole lot of style. I don't know what style you want. My wife picks the clothes I rattle. What's that style? I don't know what you mean by style, but we like to play complete games. We like to finish things out, and we hadn't done that yet this year, and I'm just happy we did tonight.
Good. Thank you.
Thanks.